Michael Judd here, Permaculture Rascal, Paw Paw aficionado. We're in our young food forest here in Frederick, Maryland. It's a chilly afternoon in March, and we're getting ready to prune and open up some of our pawpaws. The pawpaw is very self-pruning in the sense that the branches that are on the interior that aren't receiving enough light will dry and drop on their own. You want to prune anything that is crossing, rubbing, broken, pointing downward. These are all the obvious first things to prune. When you're done, you want to be able to have a bird fly through your tree. That idea, that concept can guide your pruning to bring in air and light flow. This is a grafted variety of pawpaw. This one in particular is mango. Mango is one of the sweeter pawpaws, along with Shenandoah. It's a fast, good grower. The fruit does not last very long after it's been picked, even more so than other varieties. So it's really something to grow yourself, to harvest and to eat within a day or two, and it's one of the sweetest pawpaws you can find. Now, I've been pruning and keeping these down to about 8 feet. They are about 7 years old. They've grown very fast because they're on a swale. That helps a lot. But if I had not been pruning this, they would probably be, upward already of 12, 15 feet tall, which is too tall for me to be reaching easily the fruit. And pawpaw branches are not very strong, so climbing in a pawpaw tree is not wise. So what I want to show here today is how to open up your tree so that air and light can flow through, so that all your fruit buds receive the light to grow, and that you keep disease down by creating airflow. Now, this tree already has quite a bit of openness to it. You can see how I can almost stand in the inside of this tree. One of the main focuses of pruning tree is to keep the center open so that airflow is coming through. So if you have a new growth whip like this that's growing into the center and it's going to fill out the center, this is an obvious first cut. Now, this is 1 year's growth. It's pretty good. You can get almost 3 years of growth in optimal condition. Now, if you look here, you'll see these are leaves where they're getting ready to come out and grow another branch. These are flower buds. These little fuzzy guys, these are flower buds. So they're not going to be good for propagating and grafting. These are 2 more shoots that are growing into the center. I want to take them out. Now, while I'm pruning, I'm collecting scion wood. This is wood that I can graft with. It's also called bud wood. If it's 1 year's growth, if it's last year's growth, that's all good bud wood for regrafting other pawpaws. So I'm going to be saving this and grafting my seedling rootstocks. So this kind of pruning at this time of year gets you the material that you need to propagate with as well. Now, I want to keep my trees low, so I'm going to come up here, and when I cut, I'm cutting right back where another branch, another side branch is going to grow. So I'm going to cut right above a side branch. If you leave a nub, what's likely to happen is that you will get resprouting coming off of the nub, and you'll get a bush effect. And we don't want a bush effect, we want a thinning effect. We want to thin so that air and light flow through here. And if you cut just randomly along a branch, you'll get a bush effect. You want to come back to where a branch is and cut it, and then the energy will go into that branch and you won't get a bush effect. All right. You want to step up here and say hello? Mr. Peterson himself here collecting
An inventor, huh?
An inventor.
Yes, okay.
Paw inventor. Yes, I like that.
See how much growth you're getting on the pawpaws, so they're very healthy. They're very healthy.
So Mr. Neil Peterson saying my pawpaws are fast growing.
Yeah.
If you guys want to learn more about pawpaws, check out our website, ecologiadesign.com. We have a pawpaw festival here in Maryland in September, and I'm working on a book called For the Love of Pawpaws, From Seed to Table, that will cover all the horticultural knowledge of working with pawpaws, as well as processing, making delicious recipes, and just celebrating all things pawpaw.